Getting older can be much sweeter when you drop the habits that stress you out. In my years of working with people, I've noticed something fascinating. There are 5 specific habits that keep showing up, stealing their peace and making life harder than it needs to be. And here's the good news. You can let them go, starting today. I want to tell you about these 5 habits because I've seen how much of a difference it makes when people recognize and release them. Think of it like clearing out old stuff that's been cluttering up your life. Once it's gone, you'll wonder why you held on to it for so long. Today, I'll walk you through each habit, and we'll talk about what they look like in real life. I'm sharing this because I believe everyone deserves to find more peace, especially as they get older. And sometimes, the path to peace isn't about adding new things to your life. It's about letting go of what's not working anymore. I'm Hunter Carrington, and welcome to my channel. I've dedicated myself to sharing wisdom about living well in our golden years. From practical tips to heartwarming conversations, we'll discover together how to make these golden years truly shine. Subscribe to stay connected and inspired. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference for me. Let's dive right in and explore those 5 habits, shall we? Number 1, ignoring physical discomfort. Let's talk about something we all do sometimes, brushing off those aches and pains. Do you know that twinge in your back you've been ignoring? Or that knee that's been bothering you for weeks? We need to have a heart-to-heart about this. I've seen it happen so many times. Someone notices a small pain and thinks, "Oh, it'll go away on its own." Then weeks pass, months pass, and suddenly that little ache has turned into something that affects their daily life. Your body sends these signals for a reason. It's like a friend trying to get your attention. Here's what matters. When you start listening to your body, you'll notice patterns. Maybe your shoulder hurts more after certain activities. Maybe you're extra tired at specific times of the day. Let me share a quick story. I had a friend who kept ignoring her wrist pain while typing. "It's not that bad," she'd say. 6 months later, she needed physical therapy and had to take time off work. A simple ergonomic adjustment early on could have prevented all that stress. Taking care of yourself isn't complicated. Start with regular checkups. They're like maintenance visits for your body. When something feels off, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. Make those small adjustments in your daily routine. Maybe it's stretching in the morning, taking short walks, or just permitting yourself to rest when you need it. Think about how you'd treat your favorite piece of technology. You wouldn't ignore warning signs on your phone or car, right? Your body deserves even more attention. It's carried you through every moment of your life, and it'll keep doing that, if you give it the care it needs. Starting today, try this. When you notice discomfort, stop for a moment. Ask yourself what your body might be telling you. Sometimes the answer is simple, like needing more water or a quick stretch. Other times, you might need professional help. Either way, you're taking steps toward better health. Remember, this isn't about becoming obsessed with every little sensation. It's about developing a friendly, respectful relationship with your body. When you do that, you're setting yourself up for years of better movement, better sleep, and, yes, more peace. Number 2, trying to control everything. I see this all the time, and I'll bet you've felt it too. You need to make sure everything goes exactly according to plan. Yeah, we've all been there. Think about your last vacation. Maybe you planned every minute, checked the weather 100 times, and still it rained on your beach day. Or that time you organized the perfect birthday party, and half the guests got stuck in traffic. Life has its plans sometimes, doesn't it? I learned this lesson the hard way. Years ago, I'd spend hours planning my weeks down to the minute. One unexpected phone call would throw off my whole schedule, and I'd spend the rest of the day feeling frustrated. Sound familiar? Here's what I've noticed. The more we try to control everything, the more exhausted we get. It's like carrying a heavy backpack everywhere you go. Each worry, each what if, each needs to manage every detail. They all add weight until we're just too tired to enjoy what's happening. But there's good news. You can put that backpack down. Start small. Next time something doesn't go as planned, take a breath. Ask yourself, can I do anything about this right now? If yes, great, take action. If not, practice letting it be. Watch what happens when you loosen your grip just a little. The weather won't change because you worry about it. Traffic won't move faster because you're stressed. Your kids won't make better decisions just because you're anxious about their choices. But you know what will change? Your blood pressure, your stress levels, your ability to enjoy the present moment. Try this tomorrow. Pick one thing to let go of. Maybe it's not checking your teenager's homework 3 times. Maybe it's not reminding your partner about every little task. Just one thing. Notice how it feels. Notice what happens when you give others space to handle things their way. Life gets lighter when we stop trying to be the director of every scene. When we permit ourselves to be part of the story instead of controlling it, we find moments of joy in unexpected places. Number 3, negative self-talk. You know that voice in your head, the one that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or doing enough? Let's deal with that voice today. It's time to change that inner conversation. I notice this with so many people. They'll say things to themselves they'd never dream of saying to a friend. I'm so stupid for making that mistake. I should have done better. I'll never get this right. That constant criticism wears you down, bit by bit, day after day. Here's what's really going on. Every time you talk down to yourself, you're training your brain to see the world through a darker lens. Bad day at work? You blame yourself. Someone seems upset? You assume it's your fault. That small mistake you made last week? You can't stop replaying it. The good news? You can change this pattern. Start small. Next time you make a mistake, talk to yourself like you'd talk to your best friend. They spill coffee on their shirt, you'd probably say, "Hey, it happens." Not, "Wow, you're such a mess." Give yourself that same grace. Watch your words. When you catch yourself saying, "I always mess things up," stop. Replace it with something true and kind. "I'm learning" works better. "I'll do better next time" helps you grow. "I'm doing my best" reminds you that you're human. Building self-compassion takes practice. Your brain's like a path in the woods. The more you walk a certain way, the clearer the trail becomes. Start making a new path, one kind thought at a time, one gentle response at a time, one moment of understanding at a time. Number 4. People pleasing. Let me tell you about saying yes when you really want to say no. You see it at work, at home, with friends, that feeling that you need to keep everyone else happy. You end up joining committees you don't care about, going to events that drain you, taking on projects that steal your free time. I've watched so many people run themselves ragged trying to keep others happy. They skip lunch to help a coworker. They give up their weekend to host a party they don't want to throw. They stay late at work because they can't say no to one more task. Your time and energy matter. When you fill your calendar with other people's priorities, you lose touch with your own. Those things you love to do, they get pushed aside. The quiet moments you need, they disappear. Your own dreams, they sit on the back burner. Setting boundaries isn't mean, it's honest. Start small. Next time someone asks for your time, pause before answering. Check in with yourself. Do you really want to do this? Do you have the energy? Will it add something good to your life? You don't need a big excuse to say no. That doesn't work for me is enough. I need to pass on this one. Gets the job done. Simple, clear, and kind. When you start honoring your own needs, something shifts. You'll have more energy for the things that matter to you. You'll feel more connected to yourself. You'll show up better for the commitments you do choose to make. Number 5. Fearing change. Let's talk about how we freeze up when things start changing. You know that feeling, when your usual routine gets shaken up, when life throws you a curveball, when things just aren't how they used to be. It makes your stomach tight, your thoughts race, and suddenly you're wishing everything would just stay the same. I see this happen a lot as people get older. New technology pops up and they stick to their old flip phone. Their neighborhood changes and they stop going for walks. Their kids move away and they struggle to find new ways to fill their days. Here's what really happens when we resist change. We miss out. While we're busy trying to keep everything the same, life keeps moving forward. Those new experiences we could have had, those new friends we could have met, those new skills we could have learned, they all pass us by. I remember talking to someone who retired recently. At first, she hated it. No morning routine, no office to go to, no familiar faces. But then she tried something new. She joined a local hiking group. Now she's healthier than ever, has new friends, and can't believe she almost said no to this chapter of her life. Changes will come. Big ones, small ones, happy ones, hard ones. They're part of being alive. The trick isn't to fight them, it's to stay curious about what's next. Maybe that new coffee shop down the street makes the best latte you've ever had. Maybe that new neighbor becomes a close friend. Maybe that new hobby brings you joy you never expected. Start small. Try one new thing this week. Take a different route to the store. Sample a new cuisine. Call an old friend. Each small step makes the bigger changes feel less scary.